Freedom's the answer. What's the question? You're listening to Ernest Hancock.
I've been waiting for something to happen, for a week or a month or a year, with the blood and the ink of the headlines and the sound of the crowd in my ear. You might ask what it takes to remember, when you know that you've seen it before, where a government lies to a people and a country is drifting to war. And there's a shadow on the faces of the men who sent the guns to the wars that are fought in places where their business interest runs. On the radio, talk shows, and the TV, you hear one thing again and again, how the USA stands for freedom, and we come to the aid of a friend. But who are the ones that we call our friends? These governments killing their own, or the people who finally can't take anymore, and they pick up a gun or a brick or a stone. And there are lives in the balance, there are people under fire, there are children at the cannons.
Yeah, there are people dying. This is Jackson Browne. You know, you got to understand, my generation, we were influenced by the music. You know, a lot of this stuff you guys probably haven't heard, but while you're having 100,000 hits on somebody's YouTube, whatever, there was 100 million people around the world listening to a song. So but it was more consolidated. You know, it was more, what they said, kind of, a little bit of but then it started the division of labor and diversity of thought, and it started, the free market of ideas, and it started segmenting a little bit more to where it became more and more difficult to have, this guy on the left and this guy on the right, and this guy supports this rock group and this guy supports this ideology and this guy, that we all get our own. Well, then there's starting to be, become some more overlap. And the overlap is, can we all agree that this is bad? The government's bad. This certainly this one. And the thing is that by every freaking perspective, in the last couple of days, the stock market did, what did it do today? In case anybody cares. I go ahead and I check this stuff because, it's just representative of a lot of other crap, but I don't have anything in the stock market, certainly not anymore, because I decided I'm like, no, because the only thing you can count on is that government's going to continue spending. They're going to continue printing. They're going to continue bailing out their friends. They're going to continue, it's too big to fail somebody, something, somewhere that needs your money, and they're going to, indebt your grandchildren to do it. And I'm going, well, what does that mean? It means my silver's going to go up. That's what it means. So, and yesterday we had Peter Schiff on. I was asking him, look, man, we had a big run up in gold and so on. I mean, is this still time to buy in? Yes. Yep. I think so. One of the reasons I couldn't understand why so many people would be putting so much money into U.S. debt. That's what, it's a long story, but I'm going, why would they do that? I don't, heck, even the large banks, big banks, here in U.S., like Citigroup and Bank America, whoever, they were going, look, there were so many people just bailing out of the stock market that they needed somewhere to put the money. And they were even, because there's legalities and how much and where and how, it's all these rules. Because when you do have a big swing like this, a 500-point thing, they'll change the rule. They'll go, well, this rule's different, and you can't do this fast for this, and kind of you got to take it from this and put it in one that's denominated in, and it's a special kind that's transferred, and you're not allowed if you don't do it, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, and if you're holding positions are short on this against the banks, you think, okay, well, we say that you can't short these banks anymore. Remember that? And then you go, but you guys that are there now, you're grandfathered in. Then I have friends that they had their brokers call, and they said, word up. They said, you're going to have to liquidate. You have to sell your short. You're going to have to you have to. Well, they just said, what was I deaf? You have to. Oh, because I have to. What happens when let me tell you what happens to the guys that said, no, I'm not going to do it. The law said, yeah, boom, audit. Here comes demand, FBI raids on it. I mean, do you think it's really a free market? I can give you so many examples of how much BS this whole thing is. So, with that in mind, we'll go ahead and take a look at the stock, like I care. So we'll go ahead and go Dow Jones. What are we looking at now? Does it end up or down? Up. It's up. $60. Okay, it regained 0.5%. And after it dropped, what was it, 300 and something? 500 and something. 400 and something. Yeah, it was 512. I was talking to Peter Schiff yesterday, and I'm going, hey, man, stock market went down, was it, 250, 350 by that time or something, bouncing back and everything. After we hung up on the phone, all of a sudden it took a dump. Well, somebody made some money on that. A lot of people lost a lot of money, too. It didn't just evaporate. It just went from the guy that put it in to the guy that put it in, too. And he says, thank you for playing. Because remember, you remember me saying this before. I'm going, look, this is how it works. In 2008, when all this was going, it's everybody in, everybody all in, got all your, money markets, mutual funds, pension, everybody, 401k, everybody, it's all in. You're all in, it's all on the table, all in, boom, it's ours now. Okay? Come on in, the water's fine, it's great, it's right. And I've been giving these speeches at Tea Party things and so on. I warned the people, I said, look, it's going to go up based on what? Well, all of a sudden we're manufacturing more? Are we really creating these jobs? Our trade deficit, improving? Are we, based on what freaking fundamentals? Has the government stopped spending? What are we basing this on? So I go, what's going to happen is they're going to encourage and get you all back in. Everybody all in again? You all in again? That's the rest of everything that you had left. What was left, you saved some money. You didn't pay your mortgage. You got a little extra here. You invest. You think you're going to get ours now, too. That's ours. Didn't you get the memo? Well, here's the freaking memo, okay? They're not going to stop spending. They're going to keep increasing the deficit and the debt. And what are we talking about? Balancing the budget, reducing the deficit and this and that and everything. What did Dr. Paul say? He goes, look, man, they weren't even talking about our budget. They were talking about the requested budget. It's still a spending increase. So it's just a game. And until they stop lying, I'm not going to pay attention. Which means I'm probably never going to pay attention. So, okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and take a look at, I can pull it up over here. But this is good. A friend of mine sent this to me, and I knew I'd put this up on Freedom's Phoenix and kind of do the social network and dig and stumble and Reddit, it'd go stupid. Well, it did. This is it probably works on radio too, but it's really funny as a visual. Now, you remember the E-Trade, they had the baby. Those are my favorite commercials. You always get them when you're watching like golf or something like that, where they think they got some people with money watching. So they always have the little baby going, yeah, and it's easy for me to, trade. I just click here and do this and yeah. Even a baby can do it, which made me think of this morning after the slaughtering yesterday. Who do they have? They get Kramer, Mad Money and so on from CNBC up there. Oh, explain it to me. Oh, shut up. You guys are cheerleaders right up until it happens. Oh, no, it's time to hold. And, yada, they'll come, just shut up. Just shut up. And I remember they did a study. Actually, chimpanzees, monkeys just banging on keys. They pick better than Kramer. Randomness pick better than Kramer. Who's listening to this guy? Oh, man. Well, maybe this baby is. When we come back, I'll play it for you, and you'll get the audio for it. Just remember that little talking baby doing some trading. And I'll get right to it when we come back because it segues into what I want to talk about. We'll be right back here on Declare Your Independence just a little bit.